Hey good people, welcome back to the channel. My name is Salome. If you are new, welcome, and if you are returning, I'm so glad to have you back. When people found out that I was going to be making some changes to my life, to my career, and I was going to be pivoting just a little bit, people just automatically assumed that I was quitting, that I failed at it, that I told you she wasn't gonna make it. I told you that it was just too competitive and there was no way she was gonna be chosen out of thousands of other people. She just need to go back home and just come back and do things here. That's a lot of what I was met with. Now mind you, these are people who rarely ever talk to me, who rarely ever reach out to me, and who really don't know me very well. They might know of me, but they don't really know me. So they don't know my mindset, they don't know how I think, they don't know my goofiness, they don't know a lot of my personality. They just know one side of me. But what's so interesting is that nobody ever actually asked. Most people just said, well, don't quit, I think you should keep going, don't quit. Instead of, I think maybe I had like one or two people who were like, oh my god, that is absolutely amazing, that is a field that is really important right now, and I'm so happy to hear that you're diving into that. As a woman, as a woman of color, we need to see more people like you in a field like that. It is World Cup time, so I am in New York. So if you hear a lot of commotion outside, that is what you are hearing. The World Cup fans are ready, and they are ready to turn up, child. So we just gonna have to ignore that. I find it so interesting how people would try to simplify your life without even knowing any factual information about you. They would just take information that they've heard from other people, which usually is not true most of the time, or it's just missing so much context. Also, people will take their fears and try and place them on you because they don't understand what it is that you're doing. They've never heard of it. They feel like there's only one way to success and this is the way in which it should be, especially in the entertainment field, which I have been in for almost like 15-20 years now. People feel like there's just one way, and if you're not doing it that way, then you're just not going to be successful at it. So being in the entertainment field, this is what a lot of my field taught me. I was a very shy person, and I still am to a certain extent. I know how to speak up. I know how to open my mouth now. I know how to ask for what I want. I know how to also be stern about the things that I feel strongly about as well. So, but the things that it taught me is it taught me how public speaking, y'all, I'm that kid, I was never about to raise my hand in class. And if I got called on, my heart was going to, yeah, I just saw lightning. My heart was going to just fall to the bottom of my feet. I never wanted to speak out. I was always quiet. I was always the quiet girl, which is something that I deal with now. People just think, oh, she's weird because she don't want to talk. And it's like, no, y'all, I just have a little bit of social anxiety. And so it takes me time to warm up to people. It takes me time to get used to people. And it also takes me a million times longer to actually trust you, right? Which is why a lot of my friend groups are very, very small. A lot of people that I do call my friend, they are very close and near and dear to me, and I love them very, 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 very much. But it's taught me communication. It's taught me how to come out of my shell. It's also taught me how to keep my mouth shut when it's not time to talk. It taught me how to have discipline. It taught me it has strengthened me in so many different ways where I was weak. I was weak in so many areas of my life. I was weak emotionally. I was weak mentally. And moving to New York, moving to Boston, which is where I went for grad school, it caused this quiet girl to really find the strength and the power that she had within her. I knew there was always things that was locked up in me that needed to come out. I was always really yearning very quietly and screaming very quietly because I had so many thoughts. I had so many revelations, and I was just like holding them on the inside of me. And I just felt like, you know how like you just have something on the inside, it just like wants to erupt. It was like a volcano getting ready to erupt. So I knew that there was more for my life. I knew there was more that I needed to be doing, and I knew that at some point I needed to learn how to speak up and speak out. Another thing that being in this industry has taught me, it has taught me long suffering, the fruits of the spirit. I remember that when I read this book a couple of years ago, probably about 5 or 6 years ago, I read a book about the fruits of the spirit, and it has really become the foundation of my life, the fruits of the spirit. When I tell you there's nothing in the Bible that you had already went through, or there's nothing in the Bible that does not address anything in this world right now. And dealing with the fruits of the Spirit, that's where I started to really measure my life. That was the bar in which I measured my life. And I realized so many of those, I had a lot of work to do. But long suffering, patience, it birthed that. This industry birthed that out of me. It birthed those things out of me. A lot of the other things, you know, like I was pretty okay in, but discipline and patience and long suffering, let me tell y'all now, had I known that that's what I was going to be met with when I got into this industry, I probably would have never even gotten into it, because I didn't know that that's what came with it. Originally, I was supposed to go be a lawyer. That's more stability. I didn't know what I was getting myself into. I was never even supposed to go into that industry. That's how I know that it's God. Like, God is truly leading and guiding my life, right? That was never in the plan for me, or at least that wasn't the plan I had for myself. I've always had a gift of singing and acting and dancing. I've always had those gifts, but I never thought that, like, I never knew that I was going to be on Broadway. I never knew that I was going to be on TV. I didn't even know that was even possible. I didn't know that those things were possible, but I got there. It's crazy. So I didn't see being in this industry as a waste of time, and it's still not a waste of time. I'm not going anywhere. You think I came this far? You think I went through all this long suffering and all this time I've had to be patient to quit now? You have got to be silly and out of your mind. You have got to be busy to think that I'm gonna leave after having planted all these seeds and after having learned all the lessons that I had to learn to get where I am now. Your girl's not going anywhere at all. And while you're listening to me today, I hope that this is being helpful for you and that you're able to insert yourself into these situations as well, if it's something that you're dealing with as well. Know that if you are somebody and you're waiting and you're waiting and you're doing it right, and you've just been trying to make sure that you do it the right way, you enter the right way, that you treat people with kindness, that you take your time, that you don't skip the line, just know payoff is coming after a while. Payoff is coming after a while. Do not be weary in well doing. It's coming after a while. Okay, let me make sure I can get through this video without crying. All right, let's go. Let's keep, because baby, I will get stirred up. So let's stick to the plan. The moment I realized I wanted more, it took me about to the 7th year, the 6th or 7th year, to realize I actually want more. I actually want more out of my life. I have struggled a lot in my life. I've struggled to get to almost every place that I am at. I'm just one of God's strong soldiers, and I'm sick of being that, but I'm one of his strong soldiers that he loves to just, here you go. Here, this weight that I'm finna put on your back. Now, build the stamina to keep carrying it, and carrying it for a very long time. But I started thinking about long term. I started thinking about having a family. I started thinking about my freedom. This industry, it takes a lot of your time, and it takes a lot of your time to sometimes not get absolutely anything out of it. It takes so much of your time to not even receive anything back. It's just time. It did that a lot to me, and I said, I have struggled so much in life, financially, you know, I mentally, physically. I'm not gonna keep struggling in life. And a lot of people will say, well, you know, you gotta I'm not interested in living a life of struggle. I understand living a life of waiting, living a life of being patient, living a life of, you know, waiting for the right opportunity to find you. But living a life of struggle, you're not gonna tell me that's what God wants for my life. So this is when I began to look and figure out what are some other things that I would like to do. I knew for a fact that I would probably end up going back to school. I did not want to do that, but I didn't know that 6 years later it was gonna find me and going back to school. And that's what happened. And it was so hard for me because I did feel like I had failed. I did feel like I had been looked over. I did feel like maybe people were right. I did feel like maybe this is not what I was supposed to do in my life, even though it was never even in the plan. But somehow, oh, God made a way every single way for things to happen for me. And I'm like, it just doesn't make sense. It's like, God, why would you allow me to go into this debt for grad school if you weren't gonna, you know, bring me up and bring me prosperous into this thing, right? This is where you have to not compare yourself to other people, because what you're wanting out of your life, the path that God takes you is not going to look like what somebody else's is. You might see somebody else getting it quick, getting it fast. Let me tell you something, you don't know what people are doing. And I'm not saying that everybody is doing it. Some people are doing it the right way. Some people, they're just lucky to be in the right place at the right time and be the right fit for whatever that opportunity is. But for some of us, we just need a little bit more time. God needs to shape us and mold us just a little bit more. He needs to birth some other things out of us just a little bit more, a little bit longer. And understand that some of the things you're asking for, it just takes more time. It's as simple as that. It just takes more time. It's quicker to make a box cake than it is to make a cake from scratch. Which one do you prefer, a box cake or a homemade cake? Babe, I'm gonna take the homemade every single time. Every single time. At some point, I realized, okay, it's time for me. The things that were happening in my life at the moment, it was squeezing me. When I say it was squeezing and pressing me and weighing on me, that it was time to kind of pivot into something else, I just gave into it. And I applied for graduate school for cybersecurity. My brother, he's into tech. My father, he was into tech. So I just kind of naturally already had it in me already, and I really didn't realize it, but I just kind of naturally already had it in me to go into tech and to have that interest into tech as well. And y'all, I applied and was accepted the very next day. And then on the third day, I had some issues with money. And on the following day, the door for the money for school for all 3 years opened up and made a way for me as well. Like, because I literally said, I said, God, if this is really what you want me to do, then I need you to make it seamless, make it easy. I don't want to have to think twice about it. So do if this is what you want me to go into, then make it work. He said, oh, you about to challenge me? Oh, okay, so let me show you. Y'all, in a week, I was in school. Well, I had got accepted into school. The money was figured out, and my advisor was reaching out to me about the classes I was going to take and what year I would be graduating. And that was still hard, because in the back of my mind, I was like, should I have just come to this? Because now I really feel like a failure now, because I was having to kind of take my focus off a thing that I really love to do, to go and do something else. So the humbling part of starting over is having to deal with he say, she say, and all the people who have so many things to say. Also, another humbling part was just that I had to learn all over again. Although I understood tech to a certain extent, I had not really worked that part of my brain in a very long time. So I was afraid that I was not going to be able to understand the information. I was afraid I wasn't going to be able to retain the information. I was afraid that I just was going to get to the end and could not remember anything and just won't be able to get a job. I was also afraid of, the people in my classes who are already working in these fields and just are coming to get another degree. And I'm like, oh my God, these are the people that I'm gonna have to compete with to get into this field. And so it was very humbling it's always humbling to be in a space where you feel like you're the only one that don't know anything. And that's how I was in grad school for acting as well. I was in a room where I probably was the person who knew the very least about anything. And I noticed that that is a pattern for me. Like, I'm always put into spaces where I usually don't know more or know a fourth of what everybody else knows. I'm brand spanking new to it. And that's another thing that births a lot of character out of you. It births the fruits of the spirit out of you. It births a lot out of you, and it also pushes you and it challenges you to catch up with where everybody else is as well. So it was very humbling to be in these classes and people like, oh, you do that, and SQL is this, and when you go to tech, and when you're looking at this and you're looking at that, like, and I'm just saying, like, I don't know what y'all are talking about. But God has been gracious because I have a 4.0 GPA, and I'm heading into my last year, so I will be graduating this time next year, God willing. So I'm actually doing pretty good. I'm actually doing pretty doggone good, man. Nobody is coming to save you. This is another reason that I decided to pivot a bit. It's a very cutthroat industry, and so I knew, you know, even just sharing some of my thoughts with people, sometimes people were just kind of like looking at me like, well, that's stupid. Like, why would you do that? You know? But I knew what I wanted for my life. I knew what I wanted to see. And I also knew that I had a gift, and I knew that God was being very strategic with me and where he wanted to place me in entertainment. And so I'm just having to be a bit more patient about where exactly he wants to put me. My resume when it comes to entertainment is not long. It's not really the quantity on my resume, it's more so the quality. When I do look at my resume, I see that the quality of my resume is chef's kiss. It's absolutely amazing, and nobody but God could have did that. Is it as long as other people's are? Nah, it's not. Which made me question my gift from time to time, because I'm like, I don't have as much. Like, people, and this is something that translates over to me pivoting in life as well. I'm like, I'm pivoting into something new, and I'm sure most of these people resumes wraps around mine almost 5 times, but it's like, he made a way the first time, he'll make a way the second time. At some point I said, okay, keep your mouth closed about what it is that you're doing right now. Keep your mouth closed about you pivoting, because the way in which you see it, the way in which you know it's going to benefit you, everybody doesn't see it that way. Some people were very judgmental, some people just were confused, some people were just like, so are you saying? Some people had other people texting me trying to figure out what it was exactly that I was doing. One thing about me is, if you want to know something, all you gotta do is ask, and I will tell you. And if I want to tell you, then I will tell you. And if I don't want to tell you, then I will not tell you. At some point, I know that I am a woman that dreams, and I dream big. I dream big. I don't want the bare minimum of anything. And so I am a very hard worker at whatever it is that I am doing. Some nights I'm up to 3 a.m. doing homework, trying to figure my homework out, trying to figure out how to do it, how to get it done, because I don't want to just do it. I want to know how to do it and the steps that it takes to get it done, right? So I learned to shut up. Stop telling people stuff. Stop sharing your dreams with people. Stop sharing your aspirations with people, because you will mess around and people will trick you out of your own blessing. People will trick you out of the life that you desire and make you feel like you don't need to do that, or make you feel like, oh, it's not worth it, or make you feel like things will happen for you at some point. You just need to be patient. I had somebody say to me before, oh, you're gonna be broke. You're an actor. You're supposed to be broke. You're not talking to me. You're not talking to me. It just taught me that a lot of people are actually okay with it. As long as they're getting the praise, as long as they're getting the claps. And I'm not just talking about entertainment. I'm talking about all facets of life. As long as some people are getting the praise and the attention and the claps and the patting on the back and the numbers, they don't care. They're okay with it. But I'll tell you this much, a clap, I can't turn a clap in to Con Ed. I cannot turn a clap in to pay for my rent. I can't turn a clap in to pay for my phone bill. I cannot turn a clap in to get my hair done. I cannot turn a clap in to go on a trip. I cannot cash that in and pay for anything. I can't turn a clap into my 401k or my pension. It doesn't work like that. So which means that I need to pivot. I need to pivot just a little bit so I can figure out how can I do both. And that is what my struggle has been. But little by little, I just ask God. I don't tell him to just give it to me. But what I do, I ask God, give me strategy. Show me what I need to be researching. Show me the skills that I need to develop. Show me the steps that I need to take. Help me, give me the knowledge that I need to be able to figure out how to balance these two things. Your two things may not be entertainment and tech. Your two things might be, I don't know, it might be healthcare and real estate. But ask God. Don't just ask him to give it to you. Don't ask him to just make a way, but ask him to give you strategy. Ask him to give you the steps you need to take. Ask him to give you the knowledge that you need to be able to be successful in these areas. Because somebody can give you something, but if you don't know how to keep it up, if you don't know how to maintain it. So in closing, maybe you are in a different season right now. Maybe you're deciding, you know, I don't know, I'm in my 30s. Maybe you decided in your 30s or your 40s or your 50s that I think I want to make a career pivot. I think I want to go back to school. I think I want to learn a different skill. I think that I've been doing this for 15 years and I don't want to do it no more. I think that I'm in a different season. I just think that life is shifting for me and it's just looking a lot different right now. People might not understand, y'all. Even you ain't gonna understand. But you know what the desires are in your heart, you know, the visions that you see, you know, the dreams that you have within you. And that's really that all matters at the end of the day. Maybe you're even rebuilding your life. Just because people don't understand it, just because your family might not understand it, your closest friends might not understand it, that doesn't mean that it's wrong. That doesn't mean that it's not the right thing to do. My advice to you is to keep planting, keep watering, keep learning, keep researching, keep looking at the right things. If you're gonna be on TikTok scrolling, make sure you scroll and you get on YouTube to better your life every single day, not to just take in content, right? One day, y'all, the fruit will speak for itself. One day it will. I love y'all so much. I hope you've enjoyed this video thus far. If you enjoy content like this, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.